I'm not actually as fond of the term African American because it mimics an immigration story. We weren't immigrants. We were slaves who were brought here, and by the way, one of the foundational, therefore, populations of the founding of America. Black and white says it kind of to me. We came here as Africans and Europeans and built this country together, some of us in chains.
Do you know that we owe Ukrainians reparations for building and defending this nation? Oh, my bad. I meant to say Black Americans. Notice how there was not one study, not one hearing needed before sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians nor any other group. Yet, when the topic of reparations for descendants of American slaves is mentioned, we get told a motley of excuses. And I know some of you want to blame the Republicans, but it is for the Democrats that Black Americans vote 85 to 95%. And the Democrats have been complicit in their neglect of Black Americans as well. Maybe it's time we elect politicians that are actually going to fight for us. Maybe it's time we do something different, something better. Join me in getting us not just better, but the best. Join me in this fight. Thank you.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
If you're tired of being censored on social media, join 60.net. It's Black owned, Black operated, and Black moderated. And we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things Black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 60s.net. Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 60s.net. Ah.
Tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods. Giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right, let me get that off the screen here. All right, welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially, and this is the weekly wrap up. And as the title reads, this is Random Topic Friday, which, sometimes topics aren't necessarily all that random as they appear to be. So, you know how we do here. So hopefully everyone is doing well this Friday evening. For those who are watching on TV or watching on your devices or watching on your computer, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button. Hit that like button and share this out. Well, you probably can't share from your TV, but for all the rest of you, share this out on your social media and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not already subscribed. And then you can also join as well. So, and for all the people that do not know what happened with my last video, my last live got taken down by Viacom. I guess they didn't particularly like my breakdown of that award speech, because I've seen other people's videos that use the exact same video. YouTube let it up. It's still up. Hell, up and monetized. Go figure. I guess it's just different when it comes to me. And I'm such a small channel. Ain't that something? So let's see who we have in the chat thus far. Happy Friday. Yes, indeed. One who cares. Blueberry Muffin in the house. Welcome. Lady Effa. Black First Family. Judah Queen in the house. We have our member and moderator. Yes, indeed. Like and share this broadcast, family. Maxwell Jenkins. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Tia to you in the chat. What's going on, my sister? Some chick named Star. Welcome. And of course, we got Deneen Soul in the house. Hello, Black First. Lois Hub in the house. Hello, family. What is going on? Key Prince, another member in the house. Peace and reparations, family, black first. Yes, indeed. Tia to you said, welcome home, everyone. Get comfortable. Lightfoot is out. Contaminated Palestine waste going to Michigan has been blocked. Support youth in STEM. That's what's up. Real women don't do nonsense. Welcome, welcome, my sister. Somali against Pan-Africanism. What's going on? And we have Rhonda Smith. That's crazy. Everyone's shown that speech. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Key Prince said, that means you're speaking the truth. You know? So, getting into it, some interesting, like I said, this is kind of random because, sometimes like there's not one set story because there's little things that add up to a bigger story. When you start hearing the same kind of talk and the same kind of line over and over again, and then it's coming from different sources. So I guess I'll set this up with first out, shout out to Tariq Nasheed once again for the Hidden History Museum and the premiere, because that's what you guys can't see that I did on Wednesday. So just in kind of a brief recap of the video that for those of you who are not on my Patreon, that's where it is, because YouTube won't even allow me to make the video members only on this channel. So it's completely blocked from YouTube. They will not let that video be aired. So it is on my Patreon. Am I on? Yes, I'm on Patreon. So that's where that video is uploaded. It is there now. So last Wednesday's video, and I guess also what I'll do is because I'm still working on the editing up the music reel, which right now it's looking like it'll be about 50 minutes or so. It's somewhere around there. So that'll be going on my members only here. And I will actually air a couple of the music videos. I will be doing those. I'll air them. Okay, that was weird. All right, might just cut out. So anyway, I'll air those. I'm gonna put them on Patreon, and then I'll put it in my members only first, and then I will eventually air those because there's videos now in the members right now that I'm probably maybe airing for a little, maybe a couple days, maybe 48 hours, and then take them down, and they'll go back to members only. So, but like I said, prefacing it with the Hidden History Museum and the NAACP Awards, which, of course, that's what we broke down Wednesday, was the speech from that award show, and my take on it and my breakdown on it. Let's see, dark-skinned brother in the house. What is going on, my brother? Yes, indeed. Another one of the members of the channel. Shout out to you. And so there's been a Pan-African push for a while, but not just Pan-African, also pan-gender, or shall we say pan-agenda. And in this case, like I keep telling y'all, when they say black and LGBTQ. Why is it not Black LGBTQ? Because in every other lane, it's Black women, it's Black men, it's Black this, Black that, LGBTQ. Wait a minute. That's so there was, like I said, there was a meeting that happened over the weekend because they had the Black History Month presentation. Let's see where I want to go here first. They had the Black History Month presentation. I'll go here first. Or not presentation, like more or less party. Actually, I guess I might as well just recap that too, because I had all of that. For those of you who are not going to see that video, excellent breakdown, by the way. Let's see, where is it? Is that here? Yeah. Trying to find the video that gives you the best recap. I think this might be it. So what we're going to do is just look at a brief recap. David Boyd, what's going on? What's going on? Did I see Queen Alpha? Oh, I did. Oh, okay. What's going on, my sister? Queen Alpha in the house. What is going on, sister? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So let's take this brief recap of what I played Wednesday.
To factory workers and Pullman porters who built the middle class, from Tuskegee Airmen who took on both fascism and racism, to freedom fighters and freedom riders and marchers who stood tall and sat in, from astronauts who blazed a trail to the stars and ignited our imagination, to those who continue to make impact as faith leaders and activists, teachers, and small business owners. All of the hardworking people who inspire our children to dream with ambition and aspiration, to determine their own future, and to live up to their God-given potential. It is those stories that remind us that Black history is American history. Living history, breathing history, history that we create every day, and history that we then must teach and celebrate. A history that helps us to understand how the past has influenced the present and potentially our future. And let us all be clear, we will not as a nation build a better future for America by trying to erase America's past. This month and all year round, we must recognize the full arc of our nation's history.
I'm not always going to only talk about what we can do for Black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
What can you say? What can you say? But there's more. There's more.
When I see it, the Divine Nine. We're honored to have presidents, all the presidents here tonight. And I want to thank them And by the way, you know, I'm not, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. I know where the, you think I'm joking.
And it's in the Divine
I learned
Nine,
a long
man.
time ago about the Divine Nine. That's why I spent so much time at Delaware State campaigning and organizing my campaign in Delaware. We see the...
You learned way back then how to use these Negroes, huh? Well, fantastic insight, Joe. I learned way back then. That's just what type of vehicle you Negroes were. I mean, you guys are the perfect people that we need to further our anti-Black agenda. So I learned a long time ago, hey, I'm a white boy, but I ain't stupid. I mean, I know a Negro whisperer when I see one. Oh, wow. Wow. And that's Joe Biden for you. Afro Elite in the house. What's going on, my brother? Black First brothers and sisters. Yes, sir. Afro Elite.
Vibrancy of Black culture and history, enriching all of American life. All of American life. History that can't be buried because it lives in the soul of this nation. It's who we are. It's who we are. It matters. As the gospel song sings, we've come too far from where we started. Nobody told me the road would be easy.
Then he starts quoting James Cleveland. I mean, are you kidding? Come on, man. Come on, man. Reginald Jeter, Black First fam. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Biden had skin cancer removed or whatever today, I guess, and they saying he's fine, I guess. You know, they gonna say, I mean, come on now. When the Queen was in her last, Queen Elizabeth was in her last days, they didn't tell you how grave the situation was until it was grave. It's like, no, that woman was in hospice. Y'all knew that woman was about to check out. Oh, she's not feeling well. Oh, yeah, I know. There's a reason.
I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Folks, I don't think the good Lord brought us any this far to leave us behind. We just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So happy Black History Month. May God bless you all.
When the white fleet on a bright star is cast.
And so that's a brief recap of besides the video I can't play, but nonetheless, yeah, that was Joe Biden and the his time with the Negroes. So yeah, if you're on Patreon, look for this video. Because this is the video that they blocked. They're like, yeah, we not really feeling that one, brother. Now, other people got to they letting that one roll, but when it came to me, they was like, no, yeah, you got that agenda there too tough. Yep, not gonna let that one fly. However, there's another part of that weekend, like I said, that went on. And, you know, look at what you see on the screen. Let me get that banner off. So just take a good look at what you see on the screen right there. There's a few different screenshots of people who were representing Black History Month, and they had a whole meeting. If you see right there, there's a whole meeting they had a meeting with the president and the vice president. They got a chance to meet with the president to talk about issues of racial justice and equity for Black and LGBTQA stakeholders in honor of Black History Month. Now, that ACI group, that is not a Black organization. Okay. And so none of these organizations that you see on the screen are just solely Black. That's not what's going on. All of these the groups that you see represented are non-Black ran organizations. Those are just Black people who are there to be faced. You see that she has her AKA scarf on, if you can't tell. So that's what's going on there. So again, being fully invested in a different agenda. The other agenda, besides that, of course, is the Pan-African idea, which another thing I mentioned on Wednesday. The reason why they're pushing Pan-Africanism is actually to get to immigration. So when these what Pan-African is a pipe dream for the most part. Here's the other thing you have to understand. They're not gonna be like having a big old coming to America from Africa. So I don't know what people are thinking, especially not the Caribbean, because look how they've already got laws in place to detour Black Caribbean or would-be immigrants. But they'll take all of these Latino illegals, and while they're taking all these illegal Latinos, they're also bringing Ukrainians over here by the thousands. We have over 6,000 in my city. Yeah. And speaking of my city, there's a little piece I'll touch on because I see some people trying to get some clout and jumping out the window with unfounded, wide, hairy-brained ideas. But nonetheless, talking about this group real quick, going from that, these are also the same people who are also, they advocate for this, and then they also advocate for immigration, because a lot of those people are not foundational Black Americans. And then people say, hey, you're crazy. Yeah, they just gave these folks $55 billion. $55 billion. And talking about the harms of slavery that it did to them. It's like, come on now. No, it didn't do no harm to them. What it did do was harm to us. And you're giving them money, complaining or talking about the harms and what they lost during slavery and whatnot. Yeah. None of them leaders had anything to say about us getting ours. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Who did I just see coming here? Judah Queen said off code. Absolutely, sister. Cynthia Newman, welcome. Oh, Lois. Oh, yeah, that too. Afghans, we got a gang of them too. But see, even that was regulated. You see what I'm saying? So they was like, oh yeah, Ukrainians, the flood, the faucet is on. Afghans, you come at a certain clip. But again, remember, this is how they feel.
Target.
Yeah, what about Black History Month?
Target pay my bills.
So fuck Black History Month.
I love y'all though.
Y'all? You not Black?
I'm African.
I'll play that one more time just for those who didn't hear what he said.
Target, as in
Just
your
in
job,
case you're
or Black History
confused.
Month?
Target.
Yeah, what about Black History Month?
Target pay my bills.
So fuck Black History Month.
I love y'all though.
Y'all, you not black?
I'm African.
But, there's some kind of push now to, like, the whole notion of Pan-Africanism has skyrocketed through the roof as of late. Because, up until now, it was pretty much just debating, and that was it. A bunch of debates. And I mean, again, I'm not saying it's just debates, but I mean, ultimately, this is a new grassroots movement. It's not in the same lane. I don't see it at all in the same lane. However, one does affect the next, because see, this is just an honest movement from the grassroots, really from the people. Although a lot of people seem to still keep trying to attach, like I've seen things today, the whole group thing mentality. This weirdo that hopped up, tagging me on his trying to get views to his YouTube channel, tagging my name. It's like, geez, poor attempts for clout. But there's this real big push talking to us about how African we are. Everything's African. And so you just heard that African say, we are not, right? Y'all. He's making a distinction between the two. That's not FBA doing that. That's him. Well, there's this other TikTok video that popped up. And let's just take a look at this.
Ever. Africans can't even grow a fro, bruh. Seriously, only American blacks can grow a fro. Only the Aboriginals here on Turtle Island can grow a fro. Go look it up. I don't have the same hair as them, bruh. At all. But why you want me to be African so bad? Because you know why I know I'm not African? Through my grandparents. They don't know shit about Africa.
You said those aren't African, bro. Those are American black people in those pictures. Bro, y'all gotta stop the mental gymnastics, man. We not Native Americans, bro. You not a Native American, and I'm not a Native American, and them ain't no Native black people either, bro. Those are specifically East Africans, bro. Africans from the west to the east to the south can grow afros, bro. Afro is actually short.
Was he finna do Afro is short for African? Oh, Lord. Now, see, again, what's the purpose of that? We ain't had nobody stepping in, speaking on our behalf nowhere. They just had the biggest opportunity with their leaders when Joe Biden gave them 55 million. Instead, they're over there over Joe. Man, hold on now. Let me show you this picture. Wait a minute. Let's get back to that. Look at these folks. And there's even more pictures. This is just one of them. I mean, just go look up Jill Biden in Africa, Jill Biden Kenya visit, and just go look at all the pictures that turn up behind that. It's like, man, please. But see, that's when we're together, right? And I get that. However, where's that other video at? There we go. However, this woman, who I'm not exactly certain of if she's an African or if she's from the Caribbean, she's definitely not FBA, but because her accent starts to come out at a later date. So you got to check this out.
I was the only black kid in a school, and then I went to another school in junior high school, and it was everybody, lots of black kids.
See, now she's going with the flat blackness. Why all of a sudden? Now, and normally everybody's avoiding the word black. Oh, and black. Like within what, 5 seconds, she done drop black, one black per second.
Indian kids, everybody. And I had the hardest time when I went to that.
And you already
Corny,
know where this is going.
in my head, is code for something else. Now, growing up, I went to I was the only black kid in a school, and then I went to another school in junior high school, and it was everybody, lots of black kids, Indian kids, everybody. And I had the hardest time when I went to that school because I got called corny, Oreo cookie, Uncle Tom, because I wasn't, quote unquote, black enough. Now, what that is when it's your
Right there is when you where the disdain for FBA boils to the surface. Now, she was already ramping up to that, which corny. Like, how did you make that pivot? No, if you were corny in the way you were dressing or whatever, and people were bagging on you, yeah. But are you hearing the conversation here? And but black. And I went to an all black school. And then I got, so what was different about you? So I hope you understand, like, this is what they say, tell me you're a tether without saying you're a tether. Yeah, let me go back a bit. I mean, because it's all about, this is they called me an African booty scratcher. This
time
is
when
where
I
this
went
is
to that
going.
school because I got called corny, Oreo cookie, Uncle Tom, because I wasn't, quote unquote, black enough. Now, what that is when it's your own people, where black people kind of have this weird backwards code, a stereotype that black people, in order to be considered black enough, you have to walk a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way. And it's usually all negative stuff. So I was
Wow. I mean, she's going all the way extra with it, and it's usually something negative. Oh, so everything about what black culture is and how because what you're saying, not black enough. So everything black culture is negative. Huh. Uh-huh. Wow. Whoo, oh boy, does she have disdain for foundational black Americans.
In order to be considered black enough, you have to walk a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way. And it's usually all negative stuff. So I always had my hand up. I was always on time. I came from a 2-parent home. I never caused trouble. I was an A student. And therefore, I was a corny person. And I think...
Okay, see, she knew how to do it in a classy manner. So what she's doing the same tether argument that you hear in Twitter spaces. She's just putting intellect on it, but it's still the same line. Did you hear all the shots she just took? So, okay, we're baby mamas, right? So all of us are bastard babies running around out here. So she throws that one out there. We're gang members and everything negative, and we don't know how to talk. Oh, and then our education. So we all stupid and illiterate. Wow. Oh, and because she got good grades, so that means that's that old stereotype that every black person believes getting good grades is corny. She's checked all of the tether boxes, all of them, while presenting herself as a representative of our culture. That is the epitome of being a tether. And who can validate what she's saying is true or not? So right now, she's just up here, for all we know, intents and purposes, lying. But we're just supposed to take her word for it because she's from the motherland. What? Well, they had it bad, huh? That doesn't give the right for anyone to come in our house and be disrespectful to us. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Vincent Jackson said, yeah, that's definitely Tether Babble. She's a japa. A fleer. Rose City in the house. What is going on, brother? Yes, indeed. Let's hear some more.
Think about Michael B. Jordan, who's never gotten in any kind of trouble. He's been acting since he was a teenager. He comes from a great family. And it's funny how she's calling him corny, but I'm like, is this code for he didn't like him because he was a nice kid? He was a good kid. He's not, 50 Cent. We got shot 12 times in the back of an SUV and didn't, sling drugs in, some neighborhood. And therefore, he's corny. And now he's looking at you as you stand on the other side of that velvet rope going, who's corny now?
And so what she is telling you is that she is basically kind of feeling like she's in that same position because she's on TV. But your people fled. I mean, and it's not really right. Somebody tried to come into our space the other day and tried to tell us that what we are saying, because he was trying to say that we are insulting Africans. No, we're not insulting anybody. But the truth of the matter is you have a lot of colonization going on over there. And somebody, I think it was Sister Miriam, was like, he asked him about being colonized, and the dude said, we didn't know anything about being colonized. Wait a minute. I think the world knows about Africa, the continent of Africa's colonization. I mean, come on, man. That's when you just start getting to lying. And that's just tether lying. Judah Queen, oh yeah. Yeah, I was born to marry people too, sister. I mean, they're saying, oh, but hey, baby mama, remember the that show, which is still on, by the way, that Bob Hart's Abishola Madness, that's still on. That crap is still on. So let me see. Where am I going next? Oh, but what she said right there, because she told me, it be your own. Okay. It be your own people. Okay. But y'all don't be having the same energy. Rather group.
Food.
Listen to what?
When you hear Africa, what comes to your mind? Water. Food. What did you say? What did she say? She said she should have said less water. Less water? That's a violation. No food. No food. No food. No, poor. Poor. What country are you from? Syria. Wow, both of you.
She's from Syria. Don't we have some Syrian refugees over here too? For the American-backed insurgents over there against Assad? Oh, but serious. Well, wait a minute. Number one, you're not in a mall in Syria. Oh, you think poor and not enough water and food. Boy, these little Syrians came over here and got Americanized hella quick now. Maybe they're over there in UK. Who knows where that's from? Because that African, she had an accent, but still. That wig was horrible though. New language alert. Japa jargon. Oh man. Yeah, they laughed in her face, Key. Yes, they did. They laughed straight up in her face. And I mean, how, man. Now, see, you come talking to us, and see, there's a reason when every time you start hearing black folks screaming on us, you heard Gabrielle Union over, and we need to extend our advocacy. What the hell are you talking about? Are you going to fight for all of us? Shut your ass up. Overacting. Every time, everybody got to come scream, got to like shame black folks into supporting something. Get out of here. Now, with that also being said, what's the other play that they use on black folk? Anybody know? One of the other, when they want to get black folks to do something, what is the other go-to? One of the major go-tos is celebrity. Right? Now, with this next video, just everything in the subtext and subliminal placement that's being pushed here is just amazing. But, you know, we're going to take a look at it because let's hear Steve Harvey.
People I've ever been around, ever. Forget everything you've ever heard. After you go to Africa, you got to go to Ghana first. Then you need to go to Botswana because you need to see Botswana is the second richest diamond producer nation in the world. Them black people over there got something. And then you got to go to Johannesburg. That's what you got. You got to do that jump right there. Once you see that, you'll understand who we are. Them Africans ain't stole nothing from us. They talk about Burna Boy stole this. No, we stole from Burna Boy.
Remember what Ricky Smiley said the other day on Shannon Sharp's podcast? Then he said they speak, him, D.L. Hughley, and Steve Harvey, because they're all Qs. And they push agendas. Do you think this is a coincidence that they got Steve Harvey talking at a Pan-African thing? Now, granted, he was over there in Africa doing his show. Yes, indeed. So I get why he's pining so hard, because that's a good business investment for him. So along, it's kind of this is a double whammy for him. It's a double win. This is what they want him to do, and this is helping his brand over in South Africa. So that's the money of it. So what does this dude have at stake pushing? And since when has he pushed Pan-Africanism? What did he tell Monique? Oh, we need to do this about the money. And sometimes we just got to suck it up. Well, then what's this about? If you got to be quiet for yourself, then what's this about? I'm just, it just begs to ask the question.
Is us, man. They the beat, they the rhythm, they the soul, they the hard work. We get our courage from them.
Y'all drop that jopper in the chat. Drop that jopper in the chat, man. Oh, y'all drop that jopper in the chat. What the hell is he talking about? What did he just say? What did he just say? We get our what from them?
Man, they the beat, they the rhythm, they the soul, they the hard work. We get our courage from them.
They the hard work. Wow. Now, again, like I'm saying, what all this smoke? Notice how you got he's at a Pan-African council or meeting or whatever the hell it is. Who's the passion for? Who's all this steam and vigor for? What's all this about? Y'all understand what I'm saying? What's this about?
Them people, they look just like your family. They walk like us. They look like us. They got moves like us. It's just you gotta see.
Hold on, family. Do I have that video? Oh my God. Wait, what did this do? They move like us? Hold on. Do I have that? Hold on, bear with me, family. Oh man, let me see if I can. Hold on, family. Wait. Oh man, I'm trying to see if I got this video. Oh my Lord, is this it? Cause there was this was from a few years ago. Oh, okay. I can't. I don't have it right now. I don't know where it is, but there's this video of Nelson Mandela, and Nelson Mandela is being honored, and he's standing up dancing to the music, and you could just see how there's there's no foundational Black American dancing like that. So to say that South Africans move like us is a lie. Now, I mean, granted, yeah, we do have, of course, they got rhythm. That's not to say that they don't. But again, now here's the other part: soul. Well, you would have to prove that part there, Steve. But notice how he went to attacking music. because he went into dance. So if you're noticing the subtle attacks, some of those subtle attacks that he's attacking are the elements of hip hop. So there is covert, man, these people are crafty as hell. But just peep out what he's doing. He's hitting all of these different elements that we have seen come at foundational Black Americans as of like the last few years. And they're using the celebrity status to push an agenda. And why now would Pan-Africanism be important to the Democrats? Because there was nobody pushing Pan-Africanism except for themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Mark J 1983 said Africa broke Steve Harvey off something proper, probably a piece of land. Oh, I believe he has like a studio over there. Like, no, he's like I said. It's a double win for Steve. So his handlers are telling him, "Hey," because by him doing this helps his business over there. So he's winning. Damn us.
We get our courage from them. When you see them people, they look just like your family. They walk like us. They look like us. They got moves like us. It's just, you got to see it. And we got to, my goal is to help bridge this gap. Because we got to touch base with them. Because they love y'all, man. You don't even know. They think y'all to catch me out. They think y'all to lick. You know why? Because they know what you went through. They know what them.
That's funny he said that. Very funny that he said that. Let's hear that one more time. It's very funny that he said that. What a coincidence.
Catch me out. They think y'all to lick. You know why? Because they know what you went through. They know where them slave ship picked you up at. They know they brought you to a land. They know what they did to you. And y'all still over here shining.
That's interesting, brother. Because I literally heard that this dude said that to me and Black Alpha and the rest of our crew in our Twitter space to Wednesday. He literally said almost word for word. Like what he said to us is every child in Africa is taught about your history. That's exactly what he said. So, not that I could say it's an agenda going on here. Mother Earth. Yeah, I just can't help but notice. I literally just heard somebody say this the other day. Rose City was there.
Fat. They know they brought you to a land. They know what.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Hold on now. Let me go back.
My goal is to help bridge this gap. Because they the beat, they the rhythm, they the soul, they the hard work.
That part. The Congo. Shout out, Brother Sage. Hey, you now see, are y'all okay, are we seeing something here? I can't help but notice I'm hearing the same verbiage. Is it me, Rose City? Is it me? Am I tripping? I mean, but Now, I mean, he's okay. So I'm hearing the Congo in this speech, the beat and the music and the soul. Oh, you going trying to push that gospel music comes from Africa thing? Got it. Very interesting. Extremely interesting. Wow. And then he's trying to he's on a mission to bridge the gap. For what? Why now? What gap needs to be bridged now? How does that make sense?
And y'all still over here shining? If we take this shine back over there and give them the love and teach them that dust, we...
Ooh, is that take your reparations back over to Africa? Is that what we're hearing? I ain't saying there's an agenda. But I think any wise person would have to seriously debate what's happening right now.
And y'all still over here shining? If we take this shine back over there and give them the love and teach them that dust, we'd have a powerful union.
Whew. Hell of an agenda, huh? Hell of an agenda. Now, what's so funny is while they're so concerned and busy with what's going on with us, there's this that's happening.
Jamaicans, helping Jamaicans, lifting each other up, not tearing each other down. Now I realize that my arrival on the social media scene has caused a bit of a disturbance, and a lot of people are wondering exactly where I fit in Jamaican history. So if you want to learn, have a seat.
The interweaving of Chinese Jamaicans within the broader Jamaican population and culture was perhaps best reflected in their contribution to the Jamaican sound, as Jamaicans of Chinese descent became leading players in the burgeoning music scene from the 1960s.
The importance of the Chinese in Jamaica to the development of our popular music is very important. The significance might not be from the point of view of them being artists, though quite a few were, but more from the point of view of them assisting local artists in the very early stages to record music.
The singers and instrumentalists.
Oh, you mean like some of the other people who own studios in America that help the artists and then help themselves to all of their royalties, and then the artists help themselves to starving and being broke? But that's your idea of being helped. All right. Okay. All right.
Were Afro-Jamaicans, and the rhythm and vocal patterns undoubtedly rooted in the African tradition. But the studio space, equipment, and overall creative supervision came from several Chinese Jamaicans, like Byron Lee.
Everybody knows Brandy. Brandy has to be given the credit for popularizing ska and reggae. But Byron, even as he was doing that, he appeared and wrote songs for Dr. No, which in 1962, right after independence, was a huge global hit.
Vincent and Patricia Chin are the founders of VP Records. They are the largest independent label for dancehall and reggae music.
Other Chinese, such as Vincent Chin, also set up his own studio and distribution center, recording a lot of early Jamaican music, including people like Rico Rodriguez, Lord Creator, Peter Tosh, Don Drummond, Scatterlights. Vincent went deep into it. That family made their life's ambition producing Jamaican music.
They established VP Records in 1979. VP
1979? And people be acting like things are such a big origin over here. Are you kidding? Stop it. But I always find that amazing. Yes, everything comes from everything. You stop, man, if you don't cut it out. No. How the hell you going to tell the land of creators that we got something from somewhere else? Get the hell out of here. And there's nobody over there to do what we do. So how could we get something from them? Are you kidding? And we're the most mimicked. I mean, this is the cream of the crop here. I don't understand what that. We getting everything from it. No, we're not. All the stuff they rocking over there is coming from here. Yeah, y'all still shining. And if you bring that shine over here and help them get rid of the dust, shut up. That's insane. Let me see. Let's see if I can get that. Oh, we got a new member in the house. Member for 1 month. Oh, okay. Why can't I see that? Why can't I see that over here? Well, shout out to Dark Skin Brother. Much respect for the love and everything you do for the Most High and the family. Yes, indeed. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Why can't I see that? Huh. Yeah, I don't know why I can't see that on the screen. I don't know why that's not coming over here. Interesting. I wonder if I could. Let me see. Oh, I probably can't. Oh, can I pin that joint? Wait. Hold on. Oh, I can't. I can't pin it. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, dark skinned brother. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours, man. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah. Thank you, brother. There's a super sticker. Yes, indeed. Shout out to that brother. Dark skinned brother in the house. Shout out to you. Let's see. Yes, thank you very much for the super sticker, my brother. I appreciate it. All right. Let me see here. Yes, sir. So, where we're going next. Because talking about agendas. Boy, they over there getting all up in the mix. And see, the other thing that they have done recently, there's been these polls that have came out talking about top rappers or whatnot. And Eminem is like, they got him as the top 5 rapper. It's like, what? Like, no. Nah, I can't say that. I can't say that at all. Yes, sir. My brother Black Alpha Network in the house. What is going on the road from Jacksonville, Florida? Yes, sir. Drive safe, brother. Drive safe out there on that road, brother. So recently, and some of y'all might have seen this on Twitter, Melly Mel was interviewed telling the truth. Yeah, that brother was telling the truth about the music industry and the industry in general, because again, media is just one tool of the system of supremacy. That's why you hear Steve Harvey all of a sudden pushing Pan-Africanism. So now what you're seeing, some people are actually pushing back. And I'm glad that that's the case. And so Melly Mel chimed in on Eminem being one of the top 5 best rappers. Let's hear what Melly Mel has to say.
Of all time list.
Obviously, he's a capable rapper. If you was talking about sales, he sold more than everybody. If you're talking about rhyme style, okay, he got a rhyme style. But he's white. He's white. So now if Eminem was just another nigga like all the rest of us, would he be top 5 on that list when a nigga that can rhyme just as good as him is 35? That had records and all that. He's 35. He's white. So now you could be, anybody could be as mad as they could feel how they want to feel. If you don't think that race plays a part in the equation of how great he is. I heard one of the dudes that's down with him, Royce the 6'9", or Roy, one of them, I heard he's just as good as Eminem. Why ain't he as big as Eminem? Because he black. It ain't none of that shit hard to figure out. Eminem gets a top spot because he's white.
He ain't lying. He is not lying. And there's the truth about the business. The real truth. For real. And I'm glad he said it. Shout out to Melly Mel. Keeping it absolutely real. And speaking of keeping it real, quick sidebar. This brother here, this councilman, hey, this brother is getting some attention. And, you know, I watch how things blow. But, you know, I'm noticing that this brother's starting to get some notice. Now, if this is what it is, and hey, I'm good with it. But check this out. This brother, you know, he's starting to get some recognition. He's a local politician.
Reporters, I'm thankful to Judge Farah for listening to our appeal, understanding what, you know, my position was. And so now I'll hope that the city attorney, the special prosecutor, you know, I've been penalized, I've paid fees, I've been on tether for months. I've served more than a penalty for impaired, but right now I'm not guilty. I'm ready to go to the jail, to the courts, to see if I can get these tethers off. Now I know what Martin Luther King meant when he said, free at last, thank God Almighty. But I'll stay serious and humble because I don't know if it's over yet.
Yeah, you know, I'm watching everything and how things, you know, play out and whatnot. So, you know, but if that brother is really true and real, no problem at all. He be saying some real stuff on these panels, and these videos have been popping up. But that's just also it, that these videos also have been popping up. So that makes me kind of raise my eyebrow. I'm like, oh, okay. Just kind of wondering, you know, just being observant. You know, just being observant. Speaking of being observant, we have to watch these black politicians. And this, somebody caught some audio from a black politician just pretty much speaking his mind. Check this out.
I don't have to do no work systemically, and I'm going to be fine. And guess what? I will always get 38 to 45% of the white vote. If I get 30 to 45% of the white vote, I don't fucking have to damn get the black vote like I just passed election. I'll fucking win. You got Black City, That's great. You can have all black everything. And guess what? You won't have green nothing. If the white money thinks that you are looking after their shit, they will take their shit to Prattville. They will take their shit to Pike Road, and you won't have shit.
That last part though, what? Let's hear that again. That's important.
Shit to Prattville. They will thinks that you are looking after their shit.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And guess what? You won't have green nothing. If the white money thinks that you are looking after their shit, they will take their shit to Prattville. They will take their shit to Pike Road, and you won't have shit.
Did y'all hear that? So this is I don't know what he tells people about race or not, but see, he's just keeping it real about where he's at with it. He is fully on board with, and I don't know, he sound like a foundational Black American for all intents and purposes. He's just a staunch Sambo. And so he don't give a damn about the Black community. And there's plenty of people like him. And guess what they're paid to do? Convince you that they do give a damn about the Black community. Well, what he say his objective is, making sure that he is putting laws or ordinances or policies in place that protect white people's shit. The white money, as he says. So he understands what, he knows who butters his biscuits. He knows exactly who buttering his biscuits. It is no mystery for him. And the reason being,
shuffling and scratching and bootlicking and buck dance.
There's too much of that going on. Too much of that going on. All right, so now continuing on. Let me get this up here. There's speaking of random, I want to show you a quick random video. And I hope I don't offend anybody by playing this, but I just found it a little strange. I'm going to turn off the audio. I'm going to just show you the visual. But this goes on at church in the Vatican. This is how y'all be getting down at the Vatican. Just got the Pope on stage with this. Yeah. Like I said, that was a random one. For the sake of the topic. Yeesh. Now, Lord, I don't know what the hell that was. But there's been some videos. Let me see. I think this is the first one. There's been some hearings. And that's another thing that I believe has people shook, is these hearings are popping up about reparations. And it's very clear that, it's about lineage-based policies. That's why we're having a bunch of confusion coming out of nowhere. There's a reason to that. You see what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and show you. I believe this is the first video.
Yes. How do you all feel about pressing state, local, and federal governments for reparations, specifically for foundational Black Americans, because of the growing consensus with Black folks here in Nashville, Tennessee, and across the country, is that all of the problems that we're facing as a whole comes down to economics. The reason why we can't afford housing, why we're getting gentrified, why we have substandard medical care and education, all comes down to us not being able to we don't have the money to fund our own businesses to produce goods and services that we need.
Yeah.
So, and I'm in agreement with that too. The number one thing that we need are cash reparations.
Thank you for that. And I want
So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I want to just one shout out to Movement for Black Lives, which gives me my orientation to reparations as a political fight and a demand. And so for us, we understand reparations to be, again, both a demand, but also a part of reparations is one that the entity that we're seeking repair from starts to stop the act in which that is causing harm. And so, during 2020, we were looking at a few folks,
What is she talking about? What is she talking about? I mean, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Boy, she took this conversation like a shopping cart unattended sitting on a hill. Oh my goodness. Lady, that question was very simple. Let me just take that back. Boy, oh boy, the BSO meter.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I want to just one shout out to Movement for Black Lives, which gives me my orientation to reparations as a political fight and a demand. And so for us, we understand reparations to be, again, both a demand, but also a part of reparations is one that the entity that we're seeking repair from starts to stop the act in which that is causing harm. And so, during 2020, we were looking at a few local governments was like, oh, we're gonna do reparations. And so we're like, they have to stop harming Black people. And so you have to change the laws that it is not harmful. So for us, we think about reparations as not just for Black folks who are descendants of slavery, but also Black folks who have been harmed by the criminal legal system, Black folks who have been harmed by state violence, Black folks who, as well are descendants of enslavement, Black folks who, even down on Jefferson Street, who had their businesses and their homes taken from them through the internet, right? And so I think that we want sure.
Yeah, see, that's just a crafty argument that you're trying to set up about putting people on our claim that don't belong. That's all I'm hearing. Are you all hearing the setup for any other conversation, family? Because right now, all I'm hearing is, well, this is the reason why reparations just can't be about slavery. And I'm telling you, and so what y'all feel about this is, a good question, brother. And I'm glad that you asked that question because now all the rest of us can ask.
Where's your family from?
So, wow. Let me hear, because she was really she's really winding up on and that's why we can't really afford to leave anybody out of the conversation. Oh, no.
Black folks who have been harmed by state violence, Black folks who, as well are Black folks who, even down on Jefferson Street, who had their businesses and their homes taken from them through the.
Wait. What's that part, though? Hold on. Yeah, what's that part, though? Other people? Who's the other folks that were other Black people who were enslaved? You mean enslaved in another country?
black folks who, as well are descendants of enslavement, folks who, even down on Jefferson Street, who had their businesses and their homes taken from them through the interstate, right? And so I think that we want to make sure, and then really one forward way that we think we should be thinking about it is through this political.
Here's part 2.
It is through this political agenda. Like, that's one part of it. Stopping the harm that the system has enacted on our people, and then beginning to give people the cash so that they can start to rebuild their lives after the generational impact of systematic racism and systematic harm.
And then also, while we go to the next question, when we talk about direct cash, like in addition to what Eric was talking about, another part that we're seeing happen across the country is this use of a guaranteed basic income to also solve problems, and that is also in the political agenda as well.
Yeah, and I will say just in Chicago, one form of reparations that we saw is that the police were torturing Black people in a Chicago neighborhood, and so many people were harmed, went to prison, and even unfortunately died in prison. So part of that reparations was one, to compensate them and their families, but also to start to teach about also to stop that harm and that terrorism that was going on, shut that camp down.
All right. So let's address what you just said. Form of reparations. There is no form of reparations. Reparations is reparations. So when you start hearing people talking about form of reparations, they're immediately getting away from cash payments. What that man asked about was about cash payments, not a form. He said cash. So see, this is what I'm talking about when you're hearing there's a reason why. And like I titled this Random Topic Friday, but it's not really random. But they're pushing these agendas right before our faces. And like I said, where you get Steve Harvey at? All of a sudden he's a Pan-Africanist? Man, get out of here. You just told Monique that she shouldn't stand for herself to another Black person that was trying to make them do something that they didn't want to do and weren't contractually obligated to do. So there's that. Deflecting like prism. Lord, man, she is trying to. So this is where she's going. She's going into all these other groups were harmed too. So, I mean, we can't just look at leaving them out. Yeah, we can, because reparations is about slavery, ma'am. And she keeps trying to pull that okey doke. You know what I'm saying? Let's hear some more.
Is that the police were torturing Black people in a Chicago neighborhood, and so many people were harmed, went to prison, and even unfortunately died in prison. So a part of that reparations was one, to compensate them and their families, but also to start to teach about also to stop that harm and that terrorism that was going on, shut that camp down. And then the other piece of it is that to teach about what happened inside I think it's 6th grade classes, so they wouldn't repeat it, as well as I believe there's another, like a monument of some form, a memorial dedicated to those families. And so there are examples of reparations, very few, right? But we got to fight for it and organize to transform the system so it just doesn't just stop at cash payments. And I think we'll take one more question before we move on.
That was the answer to his question. What was the answer? I mean, like you said, deflecting like a prism. Key Prince said, talking fast and not saying nothing. My goodness. Some chick named Star. That's funny. Dark skinned brother, thank you for the super chat. Miss FBA with the tricks. Oh, Miss FBA with the tricks. Tricks are for kids. Absolutely. Dark skinned brother, shout out to you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, my brother. And some chick named Star said, Pash or Posh. Pan-African Steve Harvey needs to hush. Oh, let me run this back just a little bit, because she's the one thing that she knew how to get right was the inclusion of other groups that don't belong. Can't help but don't miss that.
So a part of that reparations was one to compensate them and their families, but also to start to teach about.
And she doesn't mention what that compensation is.
What we saw is that the police were torturing Black people in a Chicago neighborhood, and so many people were harmed, went to prison, and unfortunately died in prison. So a part of that reparations was one to compensate them and their families, but also to start to teach about also to stop that, harm that was going on, shut that camp down. And then the other piece of it is that to teach about what happened inside in, I think it's 6th grade classes, so that they wouldn't repeat it, as well as I believe there's another, like a monument or some form, a memorial dedicated to those families. And so there are examples of reparations, very few, right, but we got to fight for it and organize to transform the system so it just doesn't just stop at cash payments. And I think we'll take one more question before we move on.
Lord. Yeah. And so I believe all of this is not a coincidence. Steve Harvey pushing this black line. You're seeing random TikTokers all of a sudden pushing this. I don't think that's by accident. It definitely cannot be by accident. Some of the things that will let you know that things are not by accident. E Prince, thank you for the Cash App, sister. Thank you so much. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. Thank you so much. And like I was saying, this is one of those other elements of how you know there is much attention to what the grassroots is doing, and this push for reparations is serious. So serious that some suspected, or maybe not so suspected, white supremacists are just going full-blown off code. And I'm sure that you guys have seen this by now. But again, also doing my due diligence to do that here is to show you this video of this good old staunch racist that after Joe Biden is actually given a anti-lynching bill, the Emmett Till bill, there's a politician in Sparta, Tennessee, that wants to put lynching in their criminal punishment. And their criminal, and speaking of criminal, we're also going to talk about DC and criminal reform real quick too, as it pertains to Joe Biden again. Joe Biden for the win. Hey, how about that? But look at this.
Thank you, Chairman. And thank you, Representative Powers, for bringing this. I think it's a very good idea. And I was just wondering about, could I put an amendment on that? It would include hanging by a tree also. And also, I would like to sign on to your bill, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just not holding back nowadays. But somebody actually ran up on that dude a little later, and look at it. If you think that
lynching people, how racist.
Listen, like now listen. Somebody they called him something.
Crime. You know, lynching's a hate crime, right? You want to bring back lynching people? How racist are you exactly, Paul? Just like 1 to 10. 1 to 10, how racist are you? Bring that string of people up from trees, Paul? Is that really what you want?
Damn devil. Not by accident. Not at all. You already know. And let's see where I want to go next. That's what I have to show y'all. Oh. You know, certain things affect people in different ways. Let's see. But nonetheless, the evidence of things changing is in full effect. And every now and then, it takes for somebody to maybe blow up. And sometimes it gets caught on camera. So like I said, with this weekly wrap up, this is a random topic Friday. And so somebody caught this at a doctor's office of a jilted little young Karen. She's a Beck Karen because she's right between the Becky and Karen phase. But check it out. And then she's going to notice she gets caught on camera flipping out. But I just want to point something out. She's not crazy, but she does know how to act, which will lead us to our next story. I'm sure you already can know where we're going. But check this out.
You can take your foot and shove it up your own goddamn ass. Bye! Fuck you, asshole! You gotta leave. Do you know me? You gotta leave. No, I don't have to leave. Yes, you do. Okay. Bitch, fuck you! Make me, bitch! Make me, bitch! We are. No, you aren't me. Yeah, we are. And you're not. Yeah, you are. Whatever. Let the goddamn cops show up here. Please, motherfucker, call the motherfucking cops! You little bitch!
Sheesh.
You want me to show my behind? You want me to show my behind?
She just pulled her ass out. Yeah, she.
It's you. Yeah. F you.
Right at the moment she realized somebody is filming her. Oh, my Lord. Oh, wow. You got that? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yep, he got all of it. Now, here's another story. We're going to blow through these next videos real quick because these, like I said, some of these are so random, but I want to hit, all of these different videos. So again, this story y'all might not have seen as well, but it speaks, like I said, the jealousy, the envy, and overblown, out of proportion of the situation type of vibe and incidents. Well, as we know, Karen will just not be undone or outdid by anyone on planet Earth. Not even a little girl. Look at this.
4-year-old son. Because she's a 13-year-old kid and I don't want her showing her ass around my son that's 4 years old.
Okay, she's wearing a
So what kind of mother
swimsuit.
are you to let your daughter wear a thong and show her ass cheeks around a 4-year-old
She's
kid?
wearing a swimsuit.
She's wearing a f***ing thong.
She's wearing a
Your ass cheeks
swimsuit.
hanging out. Is that a swimsuit?
Yes, it's a swimsuit.
My son's 4 and you're how old are you to let your daughter wear a thong?
Okay, that's your problem and your son's problem. So take your son and go somewhere.
Get out of here. Like, it's my problem. It's gonna be your problem right away.
Okay.
Your video's gonna do anything?
Okay.
You know me or where I live. So what's your video gonna do?
Okay, that's for my safety. I'm doing video for my safety.
The only thing your safety is gonna show that you're a fucking shitty mother that's letting your 13-year-old daughter
Okay,
show her ass.
that's your opinion. That's totally fine.
Fuck off now?
Oh, why should I?
Knock you out, and then what are you gonna do? What is your video gonna do then? Is your video gonna help you?
Oh my god.
Wait, let me get my kids ready, and then I'm gonna knock you out. Just stay there, okay?
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to call the police or...
Like, I'm sorry that I kind of overreacted. Just a bathing suit. We should just
it's because I have
distance
a son,
ourselves
you
from
don't
each
have a
other,
son,
and then
that's why. I'm just saying my son doesn't need to stare at her fucking ass. My son is staring at her.
She's just a little bit offended by it.
I don't like it.
She's a little bit offended by a little bit too much skin showing, I suppose. But
okay.
But
if you had a 2-year-old or 3-year-old son, would you let your son fucking? Okay, it's a beach, okay then.
Okay, let's forget it.
Yeah, forget it.
But I'm not leaving with my kids.
When he's older, it's not my problem.
Oh, wait. What was that last part? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that last little part?
I suppose, but
if you had a 2-year-old or 3-year-old son, would you let your son fucking? Okay, it's a beach, okay then.
Okay, let's forget it.
Yeah, forget it.
But I'm not leaving with my kids.
When he's older, it's not my problem.
Oh. When my son assaults your daughter, it's not my problem. There was so much to unpack there. One of the things is she has an issue with her child even staring at a black woman. And that's obviously her inner jealousy coming out. But, you know, the issue that she has with her is, oh, man, you got her ass all out and this and that. Number one, your little kid is over there staring at her. You're at a beach. People typically wear swimsuits at beaches. So, come on. Fan of B says, screw loose. Oh, no, she ain't crazy. No. That's all. Listen to like what she said at the end. Oh, no, she's very, that's the nature of the Karen, the young Karen. Yeah, I don't want my son. Yeah. And then goes and says, when my son R's your daughter. That's ridiculous. The hell is up with these people? Man, I mean, Lord. Let's see. Where do I need to go next? Okay. So, in the conversation, of course, of agendas. Some of these agendas just keep on coming. And when they're in books, you should know what time it is. Look at this.
Hey, yo, what are you? Hey, yo, what? Bro, what? Nah. These niggas, hey, yo, they wild. Hey, yo, I'm out, B. Why? Hey, I'm out of here. Nope.
But there ain't no agenda. Then you always over here calling people groomers and this and that. There's no agenda. The hell it's not. The hell it is not. Yes, it is an agenda. And speaking of that agenda, like I said, this is a Random Topic Friday. But of course, not all the time topics will be so random. Sometimes random topics are literally intertwined with other, which would be topics, but they have things in common. Like that video and this.
My back over my hips as I ask if we should take our clothes off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good, because we were a mess of emotions, and we were scared and excited, and everything felt new. So this sort of feels like that. Nick touches me like he's scared that any minute. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
But there's no agenda? I mean, there's multiple videos out here, all of this crazy madness. I seen one today with a dude. Well, I'm not sure how this person identifies, but this black trans person, I'm assuming, is basically performing a lap dance for a little white girl with a bunch of adults sitting around, and it's real weird. It's like, it's on Twitter. I have no clue on what the hell is going on. And I'm like, why are all of these adults co-signing this? Like, this makes no sense. But clearly it was making sense to somebody. Foolishness. That's all I'll call it. Foolishness. And that's what it is. Oh, man, y'all over here homophobic, y'all transphobic and this and that. Nah, we told you that this was coming down the pike. Now that it's here, all of those people are silent. So that you're not going to be a defense for the children. But you'll be a defense for the agenda that now has proven itself to be against them? Yeah. Class. I'll tell you. Add some class. Just like this one here. Tennessee cop now claims she was sexually groomed into letting police department have sex with her in new federal lawsuit. She's gonna show these people where it's at. Because, you know, these big black eyes. These black eyes. Lord. So, let's see this.
No criminal charges have been filed in the case. Hall knows there are those who will say she was a consenting adult who willingly participated in sexual antics in violation of police department policy, and that now she wants to blame others, including one sergeant who targeted her early on.
I know what most people are saying. You know, you could have said no. I get it. But my response to them is that I did say no, and he wouldn't take it for an answer.
That's very leading right there. I said no and he wouldn't take no for an answer. Y'all had an ongoing relationship. And not only that, though, you're saying this is how you segue into all of this? How does that? No. No. I don't think so.
Eventually I gave in from pressure.
So it's not as easy to say she could have just said no.
She did say no on several occasions. Miss Hall tried to get out of this relationship, and she was not allowed to.
Hall concedes she participated under duress. She's not saying she was raped, but adds that the salacious details made public of sex on the job put her alone center stage and do not tell the whole story.
Isolated me, they shunned me, and they blamed me for becoming a victim.
Hall suffered.
They can't blame you for becoming a victim. They could shame you and blame you for acting like a victim and putting yourself in a victim's position, because now you are up here talking like a victim when you were, for all intents and purposes, because you're talking about what, one person. But this is a scandal with multiple people. So you're going to say that you got into all of these relationships because of that one relationship? That don't make no sense. So you had to get to the groom thing. Did your lawyer come up with that? The lawyer must be a friend of the family or something. Like, we're gonna clean up your image. We gotta do something. So, it's a good thing that your husband stuck by you. He's a clear simp. So, let's just go ahead and make sure we clear your image. And we're gonna have to go get those guys. We're gonna have to just take a few of them down. Yep, somebody was doing this. Her husband's like this. Okay, honey. Whatever you say, baby. Hoo-wee. Judah Queen. Facts. Now, let's see here. Okay. Which one? I'll do those last. So let me go to this one. Yes, indeed. So I have a few, not many, but just a couple of few more videos clips to show y'all. And you know what? I might have to get that into here. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. Yeah. Come on. Okay. I got this uploading real quick. Rose City said, if you in the wrestling ring where it all goes down, then you never vittered. You the venter. Yeah, you the venter. Let me see. Come on now. Okay, looks like this. I don't know why it moves so slow. It's not that big. But yeah, this TikTok video, this guy, and I've seen some videos from this dude. He says some cool stuff from time to time, legit. This one I'm kind of shocked by, because it's like, well, I've never really heard this brother. Center, not venter. Okay, got it. This dude usually says some together and puts together some good content and ideas, and is consistently on point. This one, I don't know why he's jumping in this conversation. Or maybe I haven't seen the other videos where this dude addresses stuff like this. But check this out.
Hey, as a trans man who's birthed kids, how you feel about these surface level reproductive debates?
I feel like a bunch of it is just fake rage. I feel like the truth is that people want to be oppressed so badly that they're looking for things to be oppressed about. Because inclusivity does not equal exclusivity. Including people in the conversation does not mean that you no longer exist in the conversation. Like, using the word birthing person does not make you any less of a mother. Your child is not about to start running around calling you, hey, birthing person, he is still gonna call you mom. Like, that's just what it is. And at the end of the day, y'all don't want to acknowledge us as men, but you also don't want to acknowledge us as people who need to be included in the conversation either. So which one is it? You can't have both. It's really just fake rage. Cisgender also isn't a slur. I'm just throwing that in there because y'all are mad about adjectives too, and it really doesn't make
That's interesting. Boy, it sure seems to be a lot more people out there to pay attention to what Beatzilla says than not. But, if you looked at my numbers, some of y'all know, like, I'm the one that, some of the things that they're responding to, there's been no one else to say these things. So why are they talking about, things that I perhaps have mentioned? Clearly, I don't have a big enough following to make that type of effect. Oh, Freddie Day content. Dude usually panders to women. Ooh. So he's pandering to women this way with a whole former woman? Like, so this person has had delivered children before. Now they're a man. So just to be clear, you were not a man when you delivered those children, because you were in the maternity ward. That's not the paternal ward. That's the maternity ward. So, it's an indication of gender, by the way, because that's just natural biology. But yeah, and you guys don't want to recognize us as men. Well, we have a term, hold your own nuts. The pictures of fake penises are rather unpleasant. I'm not saying fake penis. I guess if you call your penis, you believe your penis is real, then it's real. I'm just saying what I have seen is I don't know what I'm looking at. And I'm a man. And yes, by the way, calling us cisgender is misgendering us in the first place. No, I'm just a man. That is misgendering us. Notice how this certain community is paying very close attention to some of the things I'm saying. Have y'all noticed that? They're paying very close attention to the things I say. So now, yeah, because if y'all notice over the last few weeks, you've been hearing them trying to defend calling us cisgender. So who's around us that much that this whatever out here knows exactly what type of phrasing to attack? You know, so when we tell you, you got people off up in these spaces with different agendas. I mean, you know, some of this might be going on. You know, that Joloff connection might be cracking. You know, it could be something else. And, you know, of course, there's always
got to watch these old niggas.
I mean, you got Pan-African, Moroccan mole, broke Hogan's out here, you know. And it's so funny just listening to the way that some of these people are trying to make arguments. It's like, man, if you don't
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed. So there's another video that I came across. And again, this clout chasing thing is just it's getting out of hand. And I don't understand. Obviously, these women are non-FBA, that this next clip I'm about to show, but this speaks to something going on. I hate to use that term modern women because that has been happening way too much. And I don't really look at this as modern women. I look at this as just a woman situation where, you know, some women get jealous of their pretty daughters. And I just can't help but notice in this particular video, the mother's going to refer to her daughter's looks a lot.
You had your chance. I told you to listen. I told you stop disobeying my rules. I told you being cute ain't shit if you have no education. I told you stop disobeying me. I told you to listen and do as you're supposed to. I told you to do good in school. I told you to do your daily routine and you yet to even do any of it. And you thought you were disobeying me today and I was not coming to cut this hair off. You're sadly mistaken because you thought being pretty was so much better than being educated or listening to your mom, right? Yes, this is what happens when you don't listen to your mom.
Now, she goes live with the filter on, by the way. She goes live with the filter. Now, he thought it was just okay. And pretty, I told you, being pretty. Woo, you sound a little bitter, don't you? Sound a little blood clot bitter. So for this, I mean, come on, man. For real?
The crazy thing is today, I had to do something that like I really didn't want to do, but I had to do to teach my child a lesson We try to be better than our parents, and I try really hard to be the best mother that I can be. Hi. Do you feel traumatized? No. Do you feel like I abused you? No. Do you feel like this form of discipline was a lot better than any other form of discipline, like physical abuse, that I could have used? Yes.
Now, first off, what is the need to chronicle this entire experience or ordeal on social media to begin with? I mean, you went live to embarrass your child. And then you up here sitting up here acting like it's parenting. No, this is jealousy. This is flat out jealousy. And that woman is a danger to this child. Now, I'm sure people, no. You have it in your mind that you are right. And looking at this, did I traumatize you? Look at your child. Don't you know your child? Is that child traumatized? I mean, because what you went out of your way to do was want to make your child feel ugly. That's jealousy and envy. That ain't parenting. That's straight up hating on your daughter. Any better than any other form of punishment? What are you kidding?
Traumatized? No. Do you feel like I abused you? No. Do you feel like this form of discipline was a lot better than any other form of discipline, like physical abuse, that I could have used? Yes. You know I love you, right? Yes. You know I got your back, right? Yes. You know what I'm doing right now is to make you a better person, right? Yes. How many times have I spoken to you about this? A lot of times. How many times have your teachers called me? Multiple times. How many times have you not handed in homework?
And the line that gets me is I try to be better than my parents. So again, there's a bunch of resentment going on in this conversation on both sides. So going from her mother to her daughter, there's a lot going on right there. But no, I can't agree with any of that. I can't agree with any of that. I mean, and I don't understand. Was it Friday content? So what was the alternatives? Well, I don't see any alternative being embarrassing your child in front of the world. So as a parent, no. Because again, if I wouldn't do that to another man, why would I be doing that to my child? I'm not going to be just as a standard of a code of honor, I'm not looking to embarrass another brother for no reason, or either, if we could do things private and handle things like that, then that's how you're supposed to handle things. But you don't put your kid in a situation where you're embarrassing them in front of the world and social media. Social media is forever at this point. So she'll never be able to get that one back. You've embarrassed your kid, and that one stays on the record forever. There's no parent in their right mind that should feel cool with putting their child in that position. So number one to that question is that was not even an option. So when you ask what are the alternatives, first let's identify that action as not an option. Because that is more harm than you're doing good. And that ain't raising, I mean, because I got 2 children that were not problems and straight A students. So, I mean, no, none of that's necessary. I'll tell you, you instill the values in them before they get to high school. That's one of the things you do. That's kind of part of that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she says she could have done worse. So what's the other punishments? I agree. Well, she could have done worse. Well, listen to what her idea of the other punishment was. Physical abuse. So if that's where her mind went, when she's talking about physical abuse, can you trust any idea of punishment coming from a person right there with that type of, here's one embarrass you that'll be in front of the world forever, or physical abuse? These are the alternatives. This is her thinking. So the alternatives is that kid need to get the hell away from her baby. I mean, because that's where her mind is. So, you know, what alternatives does a psychopath have? Nothing. A sociopath? Nothing. Because everything they're doing is already negative to begin with. There is no positive outcome coming from someone thinking like that. So there is no alternative, or it's always going to be negative because that's where she's coming from. Yeah, and mentally, physically, and emotionally. She covered the gambit of all. She went through the whole cycle of it. So when you see stuff like that, like, man, there's some kind of red flags should be going off. And like I said, one of the things I see is jealousy, and she definitely shouldn't be planning any type of punishment for her child based out of that. You know? But let me see. Here's another video, though. Oh, you know what? I'll play this first. Because we are almost up out of here. Know who you getting pregnant, fellas. That little girl is going to be lost to the streets. Key Prince, yeah. You know, I think, you know, because I'll say this. Maybe the mom, to me, the mom seems a little on the lacking self-awareness side of the game. I'll put it like that. And in the conversation of lack of self-awareness, there's this other video that showed up that I'm not sure is getting much run. And so this is interesting to me. I'm sure there might be some flack for this sister from some, but who knows? And I'm sure other sisters will be able to agree with her. So let's check it out.
What y'all want. I'm still a good woman. Good to who? You have to be good to the consumer. They gotta buy what you selling. Amen. If ain't nobody buying what you selling, then what? Think about it. When you go to a job interview, right? You don't come in there saying, I do marketing great. They're like, but ma'am, this is an accounting position. I honestly feel like women, we are the worst when it comes to this. We are. Because dudes are telling us every day, physique is a big thing to them. But we like, oh, but I'm smart and I got a business. No one gives a fuck.
Is that working ears thing? But remember the video I played earlier about the woman talking about corny and whatnot, right? They made that corny comment. And I just want you to see how the endless cycle of nonsense goes on. Because as something else that's also praised in our community is this.
Okay, what's around chains, hood niggas? Well, they gotta have something going
going for that, so that can't be no like crabs. But I like chains, a stand, a wall, a thought. I like a gang member. You gotta be a gang member. You gotta be a gang member. If you're not, I like you gotta have a gang member. And if you is one, you can't be a gang member. Gotta be a gang member. Gotta be a gang member. I like D-boys with a lot of money. I'm a spoiled ass bitch. So if you can't come how my brother's coming, you gotta step your motherfucking cookies up for they crumble, bitch.
So anybody with low expectations, and probably very little ambition would probably find some company out of women like that. Now, when we hear, hey, you all can't be calling in the rap songs, be calling women's bees and this and that. Oh, well, yeah. What's that? Have y'all noticed that they vilified pimping but glorified hoeing? Why do you think that was? Grimlock 313 says scrawny nag. $40 freak row city said. Now, when you understand what I'm saying, that's the dating pool. And then, family, I just want you to go with the reality of what you're seeing right now. There was how many of them women that ended up in their mid-30s and early 40s was calling Kevin Samuels? And there were so many people that hate Kevin Samuels to this day in his grave. You feel what I'm saying? So you see how it starts. Y'all was caping for how it ends. I just hope y'all know, like, these people are not a lot of them. Because again, let's be clear. How many women say that this is how they was moving when they were young? How many women are actually honest about that? Because some of these women had kids and it was like going to another country. So their life became new. Their past got erased. They just mama now. So you don't know nothing about what was going on back in them days. But like I'm saying, when you see all of these women, they calling these shows, and I mean, the whole Passport Bros, there's a whole bunch of that, right? See how it starts? And then you see where it ends. Who's looking? Because they're right there. Both of them women in marrying age. By now, they're just telling you about how they want to get ran through by somebody with some money. Because I'm a spoiled bitch. So when y'all see cats going hard on people and picking through their lies, is maybe because they see this in who's talking to them. That's not hating no black women. That's just speaking the truth. No, this is who you are, ain't it? Now, let's put this in perspective. Look at all of the people that hate other folks out here. Oh, this person used to be that. This person used to be that. This, that, and the other. Well, doesn't that apply to these ladies too? You want your sons growing up to date that? Somebody that possibly so hung up on low vibrational materialistic bull that they might even get your son caught up and set up. That's the type of young lady that is. Oh, TBA just did a broadcast on these types. Rose City. I mean, because for real, like we see how it starts. And then you have witnessed, even on The Business with Jason Black, how it ends. But they don't come up there talking. They come up there. And what's the first thing they do? Talking about how men ain't no good. First off, look at the level of men that you were dealing with in the first place. You were never moving with any man with the one thing that you would need for a relationship, and that's the lack of selfishness. Because he's out here doing his thing in the game. You want a gang member, so he's loyal to the gang first. Are you noticing that they're actually saying, I want somebody who's married to something else? So you want to come in and be the side piece to whatever he got going on. You understand what I'm talking about? Like, geez. Talk about play yourself. Mm-mm. And any man worth his salt at this point in time, look at what you serving up a man at 35 or 40 with his money right. What are you bringing him? From that to this? What's the benefit for him? Well, I'm not just a table. And especially if you got multiple children by this time. I mean, this man is inheriting right off the rip. Should any man worth his salt, especially about his means, that means that he is capable of understanding and reading the situation to minimize mistakes. And watching a person that is prone to making mistakes come around like, I can't even let you around my program. I'll lose all my shit. He said she got a throat tattoo. A gangbanger is all she can hope for. She could probably get that lasered off. But again, and I get it, everybody do things when they're young. But this is like, they call that 3 or 4. Yeah, this is how it starts. And we see on The Business, and we see Kevin Samuels and all these other videos and TikToks, we see how it ends. Oh, because see, then what also happens for those young females. See, they can morph into like nursing gigs. You know what I'm saying? So they'll go get them an Ultima. Go get them a little nursing gig, be working around old folks and whatnot, being an in-home caretakers and whatnot. I mean, and that's no shade on it, but I'm telling you about things that we have already seen how the courses play out. We've seen this before. We've seen how this story ends. And it typically ends the same all the time. I mean, just keeping it a buck. I seen there was a video. I don't even think I still have that in here either. This sister, it was Valentine's Day, and she's talking about how she was 40, no kids, no husband, and she just realizing that she's just alone, and she's just in the car crying. It's like, damn. But yeah, there's so much distraction. And I seen somebody that, because they're complaining about Africa now, because Africa's going real hard at telling its young women one of the most important things that they need to aspire to do is be a wife. That's exactly the opposite of what they tell black women in America. that is absolutely the opposite. You know what I'm saying? When you come here to America, they are not saying anything about getting married. Matter of fact, you don't need a man, don't you? First off, don't worry about no man. You ain't got to be worrying about no man. You just need to get your career popping. Worry about your career. Okay. And I mean, how many times have we saw that? Just worry about getting your career popping. All right. Yeah. And shout out to Just Eve and Sister Isla. They had did a Twitter space with Shahrazad Ali. And you know, that was some good content right there. That was a real good. I got a chance to jump in there for a hot second. But yeah, that was a nice nice being able to hear the sister just coming straight off the cuff and giving it raw and real. So shout out to Sister Just Eve and Sister Isla and Sister Shahrazad Ali. And if you don't know who she is, this is who she is.
The most difficult things that I deal with out here is trying to teach our people the difference between an actual fact and an opinion. Our people think that they can accept or reject truth based on how they feel about it. Your feelings don't change the truth. The truth is just going to be there. You can feel any kind of way you want to feel about it. Those kind of emotions have kept us from growing. Because anything we don't like, we just reject that and say, well, I don't believe that. That don't mean that it's not the truth. It just makes you a disbeliever.
And ain't that the truth? So this is that is all the videos I had, but there is, wait a minute. There is another story that I have to read to y'all real quick before we go. Where is that at? Oh, no, that ain't it. Okay, hold on, family. I got it somewhere here. Because, you know, out there in D.C., they have actually started with police reform. And Joe Biden actually is siding with the Republicans and is moving in and has been reported to be stepping in to undo the criminal justice reforms that have just recently unanimously been voted for by the local government of Washington, D.C. But the Republicans have complained about it so much so that they are having Joe Biden doesn't seem, he's not pushing back on this at all and is going to step in to veto police reform, criminal justice reform, you know, all those things that he says he's going to address for Black people in America. And now he's vetoing the bill where he sleeps in Washington, D.C. Yep. So this is from The Hill. Headline reads, House Democrats blindsided as Biden changes tune on D.C. crime bill. This article is by Al Weaver and Michael Schnell. It says let me get that off the screen. House Democrats were infuriated and taken aback by President Biden's announcement on Thursday that he will sign a resolution to nix the District of Columbia's crime bill. The crime bill has come under heavy criticism from Republicans and centrist Democrats, But last month, 173 House Democrats voted along with what they thought was a White House stance that Biden would veto the resolution in an attempt to stand up for the district's home rule. Instead, Biden made a revelation to the Senate Democrats during lunch on Thursday, and in the process angered their colleagues across the Capitol complex. The White House effing this up royally. One of the House Democrats told The Hill via text message, noting the White House issued a statement of administration policy opposing the resolution and backing D.C. And that House Democrat leadership told lawmakers that Biden was prepared to veto the measure. The declaration from the Office of Management and Budget called on Congress respect the District of Columbia's autonomy to govern its own local affairs. So a lot of us who are allies voted no in order to support what the White House wanted, and now we are being hung out to dry. The lawmaker continued, effing amateur hour. Heads should roll over at the White House over this. The House Democrat added multiple lawmakers were extremely pissed about the situation. Representative Pete Aguilar of California, the number 3 House Democrat, issued a rare rebuke of the White House during the Punch Bowl news event at the caucus retreat in Baltimore, saying Biden's move was disappointing. It's disappointing for me and anybody who believes in home rule. Honestly, I'm a former mayor of a city of 70,000, and I wouldn't want the federal government coming in telling me what city ordinances to pass, so I think it's disappointing in that context. Yeah, I would have to agree. I voted against it, but I understand and respect the president's position here. Let's see. We'll see. The Senate has to pass that. And I know that they've said they have the votes, but all of those things have to happen. But it's disappointing for those of us who believe in home rule. An aide to the House Democrat who opposed the measure texted that the caucus is a little shocked by the move. The crime bill passed the D.C. City Council unanimously in January after Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser vetoed it. The City Council overrode it 12-1. Among other things, the bill would eliminate most mandatory sentences and lower penalties for the number of violent offenses, including carjackings and robberies. Now, how are they tying in mandatory sentences with that's being really dishonest right there? But of course, that's who we're dealing with. Carjackings. Stop. It would also expand the requirement for jury trials in most misdemeanor cases. As in a tweet, Biden specifically mentioned the issue of carjackings. As of Thursday, there have been 94 carjackings in D.C. in 2023 alone. See, he's still riding that cop line heavy. He is a full staunch supporter of the police, hands down. And I hope y'all understand that. One thing that the president believes in is making sure that the streets in America and the communities across the country are safe. That includes in D.C. That does not change, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters on Thursday. When it comes to what this proposal brings forth, which is really lowering penalties for carjackings, he doesn't believe that's going to keep our communities safe. Nevertheless, the move still left Democrats with a sour taste in their mouths. Today, today has been a sad day for DC home rule and DC residents. Right to self-governance. All right, yeah, I guess so. We had hoped that with more Senate support, we would have been able to ensure that neither disapproval resolution pending before the Senate would reach the president's desk. But with the nationwide increase in crime, most senators do not want to be seen as supporting criminal justice reform. Well, that's kind of letting you know what time it is right there now, isn't it? And that's about all I'll read of that, because you just know what he's doing. So again, getting rid of, because again, we do understand how we got the mandatory minimums in the first place, right? So is Joe Biden sorry for his crime bill? Or is he so proud of his crime bill that getting rid of mandatory sentencing in Washington, D.C. is something he couldn't stomach? Biden sexuals, that's your man. Yeah. Fund them. Yeah, don't defund them. Fund the police. Yeah, fund them. So, yeah, there's that. And never forget,
the white man broke every law in the state and federal penal code system in order to establish every state in the United States.
And if you can't understand that, I got a question.
Where's your family from?
Because chances are you're not one of us. And if you are, you might be
shuffling and scratching and bootlicking and buck dance.
And there's plenty of that. There is plenty of that. Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, always remember, this is what your leadership also looks like, because we got a black woman right there.
I'm not always going to only talk about what we can do for black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
So if you are still considering, and you have a problem understanding if you need to vote black issues or be tied and married to the Democrats, well, then maybe you ain't black. I mean, because at least if you still say, well, this is still better than the Trump thing, no, it ain't. But yeah, I mean, don't you think that if we had Trump, we'd be so much worse off? Well, man, Trump is racist, man. And you think Joe Biden's still racist, man? You think Joe Biden, man, Joe Biden ain't nearly as racist as Donald Trump.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Woo! Yeah. Because, see, what we're talking about is reparations. Reparations justice. And it's not really that hard. Oh, you guys are stuck on slavery. No, it's reparations for us, foundational Black Americans. Not everybody who came over here who benefited from civil rights, and you want to start talking about what they went through since the 60s. That does not put them on this wavelength of debt at all. And for all of you individuals who are trying to come out here and do what your paymasters tell you to do and start flat blacking everybody, and we all one, and we all the same, ain't no difference between none of us. We know where that trick comes from, and to that we have to say.
First was the controversial Reverend Jeremiah Wright.
I say America, America's mother, America's daddy, America can eat a dick, America can lick the balls.
Because.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
So if you still coming around us talking about vote blue no matter who.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeed. Oh, thank y'all once again for tuning in to the weekly wrap up. This has been Random Topic Friday. And we hit some random topics today, but they all are showing an agenda that's going on. So let's stay tuned and aware of that. So with that being said, family, please like and share if you have not already done so. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at beatzillapdx. You can actually go to Patreon at beatzillapdx official, and you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you want to go ahead and bless this channel, you definitely can. Thank you in advance, and thank you for those who have given super chats tonight and the Cash App. Appreciate all of you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon all of you. Thank you so much for everything y'all do, and thank you for the support. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Also, you can go to Cash App. That's $beatzillapdx. That is Cash App, $beatzillapdx. And we have PayPal as well, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. Thank you, brother, dark-skinned brother. Thank you very much, brother. And so, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Of course, we got super thanks and super chat, of course. So if you're watching the replay, there's super thanks. But with that being said, family, we are going to get ready to roll up out of here. Hopefully y'all have a blessed, restful weekend. Blessed, restful, and prosperous weekend. So with that being said, you know what we do around here? We keep our 3 smooth stones at the ready because we are going to hurl them stones at the lies. You understand? And I'm glad we also caught the minister's speech as well, the War of Armageddon, and that was a good speech as well. So I appreciated catching that. There was a lot of a strong wrap up to Black History the last 2 weekends, so that was really dope. So shout out to all of my brothers over there at the NOY. Salute to you. And with that, we are always going to stay vigilant. We're always going to stay Black, and we are always going to stay alive. With that being said, Black first, Black first, Black first. Shalom, family. Knock out that lie's brains with the stone of truth.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.